Hi, everybody. Thanks for checking in with us for What a Week. John Keller here with Chris McKinnon. And, well, you're John Keller. I'm Chris McKinnon. I did that reverse.
Let's keep that. I don't think anyone's going to mix us up, Chris.
Right, I know.
Maybe, but...
It's been a long week. So
I mean, the pot is legal in Massachusetts now, so there's a chance.
There's a chance people could confuse us,
yeah.
yes. So let's start this week. Let's talk a little bit about the I word, as the president was calling it, infrastructure. They were supposed to have this big bipartisan meeting at the White House. Nancy Pelosi made some comments about cover-ups. President Trump didn't seem to like that. What's your take on how this whole situation played out? Do you think it really was kind of a spur of the moment, cancel the meeting and get out there in the Rose Garden?
Yes, I do. I think a lot of things this president does are spur of the moment. And while, as usual, his fans are saying, well, this is very calculated, he's positioning them. And I do believe, by the way, and as Nancy Pelosi has said, that he would like for them to go ahead and try to impeach him, because that would play into a key part of his re-election pitch, which is, I'm persecuted, the Democrats are out of control, make it about them rather than about him. The problem is, if he also, by this action, undercut another key part of his campaign pitch, which is, remember, he ran as the president who's going to get some things done. I can cut deals. No one can cut deals like me. Well, that has turned out not to be true. And if you turn around next year at this time and he has no accomplishments to point to, there are the Democrats. Chuck Schumer was holding up their 35-page plan that they had for infrastructure. Everyone all along has said that's a bipartisan, an area where there could be bipartisan agreement. I just don't think in the long run that's a political plus for the president, but we'll see.
And he's also saying, I'm not going to deal with it until you stop investigating me. Do you think the investigations are ever going to end in time for them to get infrastructure done?
Not before November of 2020.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about back here at home. We've got the Wynn Casino opening up in a month. There were talks that MGM potentially was going to buy the location, and then that got some people in Springfield nervous, the governor a little nervous. What's your whole take on the idea of this kind of talks and then turning the talks off?
I've been talking to a lot of industry insiders about this, Chris, and what they tell me is that the punishment that the State Gaming Commission levied on Wynn Resorts, the $35 million fine, the $500,000 fine on Matt Maddox, the CEO, that's chump change. That's pocket change for the casino business. What really has them upset is the requirement that they accept an independent monitor appointed by the Gaming Commission, who will basically have veto power over their business in Everett. And decisions they make will have to be vetted and approved by this person. That is unprecedented in the casino industry globally. The Wynn Resorts people are furious about it, and they want it taken out. Whether that's going to come as a result of litigation now, or whether they'll go ahead, open up, and then marshal the lobbying energy of the cities and towns that are benefiting from the casinos to try to get that change, that remains to be seen. But that's really at the heart of this. The talks with MGM, the hinting about delaying the date. My information is that was all sort of bluffing, pantomime, trying to ratchet up some pressure on the commission to back off a little bit.
All right, so that's something to watch down the line, too, right? And then also some Cape Cod officials came out with I guess, a preliminary plan. They want to redo the bridges, the Bourne and the Sagamore. Of course, we all know them. They're always under construction, it seems. They need the maintenance to be done. Thoughts on this? Thoughts on how we tackle this problem?
Well, there's no doubt we have a problem. Okay, those bridges are aging. Something's going to have to be done. Interesting, isn't it, that what's it been, about 10 years since they redid the access to the Bourne Bridge on the whole flyover there, and now we're sort of back in the soup again. It reminds me of the Big Dig, which didn't exactly alleviate our traffic woes around here. But can you imagine what this is going to be like if they start working on those bridges on a multi-year project? I mean, my theory is there will be, the first time when the work starts, the first big travel weekend to the Cape, the backups will extend to the Canadian border. Then, after that, there won't be any backups because no one will ever try to drive to the Cape again after that nightmare experience. That might be a little far-fetched, but my theory is leave it alone. I mean, if you have to bolster it with plywood, do it, because at this point, fixing the bridges is going to invite more traffic onto the Cape, and I don't know about you, but my experience down there is they can't take any more traffic.
You can't handle it. Route 6, all of it.
And it's not just in the height of summer now either.
Yep.
Shoulder season is a nightmare as well. Good luck to them. Their hearts are in the right place at Mass DOT, but this is going to be a public relations nightmare.
All right, John, thank you very much. Appreciate your insight as always.
Have a great
Thanks
weekend.
for checking in with us, everybody. Have a great weekend as well. We'll see you next week.